In an era of never-ending action movie franchises that have a focus on meticulous fight choreography, Ip Man is probably my favorite. For those of you who don't already know, Ip Man was a real-life grandmaster of Wing Chun, but he also became famously known as the guy who trained Bruce Lee. Beyond that though, he was a huge believer in the fact that Chinese Kung Fu should be something anyone in the world can be included in. He was pretty much the man, and while he's been portrayed by many in movies and even TV shows, this video is going to be kind of focused on the 4 movies directed by Wilson Yip and Donnie Yen's portrayal of the Grandmaster himself. So the Ip Man franchise is super loosely based on this guy's life, especially after the first movie. It's basically historical fiction, putting this real guy in kind of dramatized, fictionalized situations that only really work within the universe that these movies take place in. No matter what the issue is, and I mean no matter what the issue is, you can pretty much guarantee it will be solved with Chinese Kung Fu, and it never gets old because when a fight isn't simply outstanding to watch, which they all are, it's so emotionally charged it brings tears to your eyes. I'm pretty sure I've cried in multiple fight scenes across all 4 Ip Man movies. And I'm not just talking tears of despair, I'm talking joy too. This shit's emotional. If you watch any fight scene from any one of these movies, you'd know exactly what I mean when I say they all kind of ride this line of fictional. The fights are beautifully choreographed, not just showcasing the many intricacies of the martial arts styles involved throughout the films, but also just Ip Man's calm and focused composure. Honestly, pretty much every fight scene in these movies blows my mind. I can't imagine how much work it takes to make these look as cool as they do, but also feel as real as they do somehow. As I said before, a lot of these fights are really emotional, and while there totally are a ton of the "to prove you're good enough, you're gonna have to fight me first" scenes, there are so many emotional fight scenes, and it's not just the acting, which Donnie Yen is amazing by the way. He does a great job portraying not just a calm badass, but also someone who cares. But the fights themselves are choreographed in a different way depending on the emotions. You do not want to fuck with an angry Ip Man. Kenji Kawai did the music for all these movies, by the way, and it's excellent. There's a theme that carries through every single movie, and anytime you hear it, it will pump you up. Great score every time. Initially, when planning on making this video, I was going to do a ranking of all 4 Ip Man films, but upon seeing them all multiple times, that's pretty pointless. They all rule in their own way, and they rule differently when you've seen them all. I don't know how to explain that, but I'm going to make you watch them all now, so here we go. So right now on Netflix, you can watch Ip Man, Ip Man 2, Ip Man 3, Master Z, The Ip Man Legacy. It is a spin-off, directed by a different director, but it totally slaps, and it takes place between 3 and 4, and it has characters from 3, and just watch it. Then, end with Ip Man 4, which is a very satisfying ending to this franchise I've been talking about. I promise you will have a blast, you'll probably cry more than once, and I guarantee by the end of it you'll be looking up local martial arts lessons. And I don't blame you. Oh, and while you're at it, you should check out Wong Kar-wai's The Grandmaster. I'm pretty sure it's also on Netflix. It's a lot more historical, kind of, but it's also more stylized, if that is possible. I don't know. It's Wong Kar-wai. It's amazing. You should check it out. It's completely different. It is pretty rad and has some visually astounding shit going on. Alright, I'm gonna go let you watch these. Real quick though, if you've been enjoying the content I've been putting out here but you've been wishing it was a little more frequent, consider checking out some of the projects I've been working on. A New Lens is a podcast where my friend Calvin and I talk about movies and television we watched as kids, but with the new lens of amateur filmmakers / adults. We're working through Avatar: The Last Airbender right now, but we've sprinkled in a couple movies like Sinbad and Spider-Man. We'll see what we do in the future. Legendary 4 Adventures is an actual play D&D podcast, also featuring Calvin and myself, as well as our friends Sam and Dustin. Sam DMs, while Calvin does all of the music, sounds, and editing. It's pretty epic. Finally, a new project that I'm really happy to be announcing, Hotbox the Book Club. Also a podcast. Mitchell, the guy who does the music for this channel, and I will be reading books and talking about them with a super laid-back structure. We are starting with Percy Jackson, but honestly, who knows where this podcast will take us. I'll leave links for everything below. Hopefully you check out something that might interest you. If not, no worries, you still got this. What's a movie franchise you love? Particularly an action franchise you might love? Let me know down in the comments, and make sure to like and share this video. It would mean a lot. And as always, keep watching movies.